following is a production of the Department of Broadcasting and Journalism at Western Illinois University.
Coming up on NEWS3 Live at 4, we take a look at homecoming and all the events taking place during this campus-wide celebration.
And later on in sports, Roosters, Power Rangers, and motorcycle riding mascots. Oh my, and there was a football game too. The Leathernecks look to overpower a heavily favored Coastal Carolina squad on Saturday.
Plus, summer-like temperatures are moving out, and we're starting to get more into fall-like weather. Your 5-day forecast coming up.
Live from Salee Hall in high definition. NEWS3 starts now.
New today, U.S. Republican senators are now ditching their latest efforts to repeal and replace the Affordable Care Act. Good afternoon. Welcome to Live at 4.
The decision just comes 4 hours after Maine U.S. Senator Susan Collins announced she would vote no on the Graham-Cassidy bill.
Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell says they do not have the votes to repeal the ACA. This is the second time that Senate Republicans tried and failed to approve repeal legislation. The sponsors of the Graham-Cassidy bill say they were disappointed but would try again through a more transparent process. Senator McConnell says Republicans would move on to their next big legislative priority, overhauling the tax code, something that has not been done since 1986.
In local news, Western has been around for more than 100 years, but it hasn't always been celebrated. NEWS3's Alex Guerrero shows us how the community came together to honor the very beginning.
Faculty, staff, students, and community members gathered to celebrate the founding of Western at the 24th Annual Founders Day celebration at Sherman Hall. This year's event featured a new format, including a guest speaker, WIU alumnus, former state senator Kirk Dillard. The celebration began at the front steps of Sherman Hall with the ceremonial bell ringing by Lana Myers.
Thank you, Ms. Myers.
Following the bell ringing, the celebration continued at the Sherman Hall Auditorium with guest speaker Kirk Dillard. He spoke about his time here at WIU and how Western has helped him carve out his career. President Jack Thomas also had a few words to say, but was very pleased with the celebration.
It was great, and the performance was great as well, coming from our students. So we were very excited and very pleased with this program today.
With Founders Day being celebrated differently than others in the past, WIU plans to keep this format for the future. For NEWS3, I'm Alex Guerrero.
A Founders Day celebration was also held at the WIU Quad Cities campus this morning.
A Roseville man is accused of biting an officer during an arrest. Police responded to a call on Friday night about an unconscious man who became combative with emergency personnel. When McDonough County deputies arrived, they say 40-year-old Jeremy Weir was locked in a pickup truck looking for his keys. An officer broke the window of the pickup truck attempting to retrieve the keys and was allegedly bitten in the thumb by Weir. Weir was then tasered and arrested. In a barn near the pickup truck, officers found multiple pill bottles with Weir's name on them, a pill bottle with methamphetamine residue, needles, a loaded pistol, and prescription pills not belonging to Weir. Weir was taken to the McDonough County Jail, where he was charged of aggravated battery, resisting and obstructing an officer, possession of methamphetamine, possession of a controlled substance, unlawful possession of a firearm, and unlawful possession of hypodermic syringes. Weir's bond is $100,000.
In more local news, a total of $7,500 has been raised after a fundraiser for the Performing Arts Society at WIU. College students in the Macomb community gathered at the forum to sample more than 20 beers from local breweries during the 9th annual Beer Fest over the weekend. Organizers of the event say this is a chance for the Macomb community to get involved for a good cause.
This event benefits the community because it's a great way for people to get together, try something new. A lot of these breweries are local within our Midwest region, so it's a great way for people to come in and enjoy each other's company, eat good food, drink good beer, and of course the money goes directly to the Performing Arts Society.
Big sponsors such as Jimmy John's, Hy-Vee, and Tri-States Public Radio were a part of the fundraising event. Western Illinois University Dance Marathon is on the way to reaching their $150,000 goal. The second annual Dance Marathon 5K and Walk and Run took place on Saturday morning. Dance Marathon is a year-long fundraising event that raises money in support of local Children's Miracle Network hospitals. The 5K race started and ended at the Old Dairy located on the square in Macomb. The organization raised roughly $3,000 before the race.
An International Day of Peace celebration is taking place on the WIU campus. This is an opportunity to gather together and learn to live more peaceful as people. Riyad Ismat, who is an award-winning playwright, director, and author from Syria, will be speaking on living in war-torn Syria. The event is going to start at 7 p.m. and the event is free to attend.
If you're an agriculture student and looking for career opportunities, WIU is holding their 21st annual Agricultural Career Fair in the University Union Grand Ballroom. 35 companies will be there for students to talk and get more information on starting their career in any field of agriculture. The event will take place on October 4th from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. And a sweet event raises about $300. The second annual Honey Harvest was held last week. The WIU Hornfield campus and had a few visual activities for visitors to enjoy. Those included seeing the honey being taken from the hive, watching it be spun, and even getting to taste the honey. Visitors could buy jars of fresh honey for $5 or $10, depending on the size they wanted. Money raised during the event went to the Horn Environmental Learning Project, the RPTA Student Recreation Society, and to the Hornfield campus.
WIU is honoring the man behind the tradition of the Fighting Leathernecks. The Colonel Ray Rock Hanson statue will be unveiled in a special ceremony near the north entrance of Hanson Field. Hanson is a decorated war hero. He retired from Western in 1964 after a 38-year career at the university. He passed away in 1982 at the age of 86. The statue unveiling ceremony will take place this Friday, September 29th at 2 p.m.
September is Hispanic Heritage Month, and one organization is spreading the word through dance. NEWS3's Raul Villalobos reports.
Dancing is known to be good for our health. We enjoy it and are relaxed when dancing. As for choreographer Isabella Rocha, part of Tradicion Latin dance team, dancing is more than that.
Tradicion is a Western Latin dance team, and we focus on different Latin dances, so bachata, merengue, salsa, cumbia, dembow, just different dances.
Tradicion, which is translated to tradition, brings to the Macomb area unique Hispanic dance performances and cultural activities that serve as educational programs to the community. Without this organization, the exposure to Latin culture would not be available in the university. As for the individuals that participate in the dance team, like Jonathan Ibarola, a senior at WIU, it gives him a sense of pride to express his heritage.
What made me join Tradicion is just the family aspect of it. I've been dancing since I was a kid. I like all sorts of Latin music.
Tradicion is looking ahead into the future with several performances coming soon.
Our first performance is at Monmouth College for their cultural showcase on the 23rd, and then our next performance is at the Variety Show.
The biggest competition that Tradicion is striving for is to perform in Chicago. For NEWS3, I'm Raul Villalobos.
Coming up on Live at 4, Illinois is ranked second in the nation for railroad crossing fatalities. What railroad facilities are doing to promote safety? Ahead.
I think just working with everybody in the newsroom, everybody has such a great camaraderie. All the opportunities that I've been given here have just been amazing to expand on that resume. I try not to beat myself up on the mistakes I make because there's so many opportunities. Just giving that experience, and this is how I got to do things in the real world, is really what the broadcasting and journalism department has done for me. When you have a really good show and that everybody nailed it, I mean, that's one of the best feelings in the world.
to eat apples and bananas. I need to eat apples and bananas. Why can't I eat?
1 in 5 children struggles with hunger in America. Support the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks to help provide meals to those in need. Join us at feedingamerica.org.
Garrett Covington chose Western Illinois University because of the law enforcement program and the chance to be a leatherneck.
Western has one of the best law enforcement programs in the nation, and I get to play the game I love. Whether I go pro or I go to law school, because of Western, I would take my success to another level. I am a success story. I am a leatherneck.
Think purple, think success. Think Western Illinois University.
Live from Salee Hall in high definition. Live at 4 continues.
Paint the Pause is an annual homecoming event that takes place on the WIU campus. This past Friday, the university community gathered together to show their leatherneck pride by repainting paws. You can see these paws displayed on the streets throughout the WIU campus.
The school spirit remains high on the WIU campus as they prepare for the big homecoming football game. News 3's Marcellus Angel tells us about one of the week's high-spirited events.
WIU sails into homecoming week with Rocky's Boat Regatta. Campus organizations created makeshift boats using limited supplies. 2 students from each group got into the boats wearing life jackets as they attempted to row across Everly Park Pond, being cheered and chanted on from their respective teams. Some teams were successful. Others, like the Titanic, which lived up to its name, didn't make it very far before sinking. During this event, students could also make cash donations to force other students to sit in a jail made out of streamers while wearing a goofy costume. Homecoming week continues up to Saturday, September 30th, when the Leathernecks will take on the University of South Dakota at Hanson Field. With News 3, I am Marcellus Angel.
Students are preparing for an event tonight where they will continue to keep their spirits high by showcasing their talents. The variety show will take place inside Western Hall at 6 p.m.
Local, state, and federal agencies are partnering up this week to try and reduce deaths along rail crossings. The Illinois State Police are promoting Rail Safety Week. Drivers and pedestrians who disobey the law associated with railroad grade crossings will be cited. In addition, police officers will be distributing information on how to be safe around trains and train tracks. For more information on rail safety, visit oli.org.
Temperatures are cooling down. Molly Naisland is next with a look at your Storm Team 3 forecast.
A single ember from a wildfire can travel over a mile. That ember can ignite and destroy your home or community. You can't control where that ember will land. Only what happens before it does. Visit fireadapted.org to learn how you can help protect your community from wildfires.
I think what I love most about News 3 is that we're really provided with a real-world experience. We're able to get hands-on work in news, and it's very similar to what you would find in a real newsroom, but everyone around here is really good about pushing you to be your best. News 3 has really taught me to believe in myself and that if you work hard, you can achieve anything you want. News can sometimes be really tricky, and you have a lot of roadblocks. All of us hold each other to really high standards, and I think that really shows in our newscasts.
It's a short ride from your neighborhood to your naturehood. To find a neighborhood park or green space near you, visit discovertheforest.org.
Good afternoon and welcome back, Macomb. We are looking at some beautiful skies out there, mostly sunny with a high of 85 right now. Our dew point is sitting at about 65 degrees and our humidity is at 52% with winds out of the northwest at 8 miles per hour. So brisk winds out there today. Taking a look now at our weather tracker, we are seeing some clouds over our area, but there's a nice little gap over Macomb. So we're seeing a lot more sunny skies than what this may look like. Taking a look now at our almanac. As you can see, the average for here in Macomb is about 73 degrees for a high and 49 for a low. We are a little bit above that today. Our record high was set back in 1897 at 94 degrees, and back in 1928, we hit a low of 29 degrees, so below freezing for that day. Now, looking at our Atlantic Ocean, we have two hurricanes currently. We have Lee and Maria. Now, looking at Maria, she's currently at a Category 1, going to be dropping to a tropical storm very shortly, and will only be brushing across the East Coast, not necessarily making any landfall. Taking a look at Hurricane Lee, he's at a Category 2, and he's way out in the Atlantic Ocean and not expected to make landfall, so the U.S. can take a little break from hurricanes for the time being. Looking at our current temperatures, here in Macomb, we're sitting at 85 degrees. Over in Burlington, they are at 80 degrees, and over in Keokuk, they are at 80 degrees as well. Tonight, we are going to see our lows dip down into the mid-50s at 54 degrees here in Macomb, 58 down in Quincy, and 58 down in Beardstown. Tomorrow, we're going to see our highs a little bit lower than what we're used to seeing at 72 degrees in Macomb, 73 in Keokuk, and 76 down in Quincy. Tomorrow night, we're going to be dropping very low with our lows in the mid-40s at 44 degrees here in Macomb, 46 in Beardstown, and 49 over in Quincy. Tonight, we're going to see our lows at 54 degrees, so you might want to have that jacket. Fairly cloudy with winds out of the northwest at 8 miles per hour. Tomorrow, we're going to see mostly sunny skies, a high of 72 with winds out of the northwest at 11 miles per hour. And then for your 5-day forecast, we're going to be seeing our highs dipping into the 70s now with some clouds on Wednesday at 72 degrees, sunny skies on Friday and on Thursday and Friday. And then looking at your forecast for game day, we're going to be at 72 degrees with some cloudy skies, and then Sunday we're going to be bringing back that sun at a high of 75 degrees.
You know, Molly, it just seems like the temperatures are now starting to cool off and just ease into that fall weather.
Yeah, I believe we're going to be seeing some more fall-like temperatures. You might want to grab that jacket for this week.
And now it's time to ease into some sports with our sports reporter, Danny Fry.
And I tell you what, and we're easing down in that football weather, too. Coming up in sports, we have highlights from Western Illinois football's impressive showing at FBS Coastal Carolina and an exclusive look at Coach Fisher's post-game speech. Plus, the Bushnell West Prairie Sparklones found themselves in a clash of unbeatens on Friday night against Elmwood Brimfield. And a Western Illinois women's soccer match that went down to the wire on the pitch. Your highlight source is on the way next on Live.
We taught him how to hit a baseball, how to hit a receiver, the strike zone, the net. You taught him how to hit the upper corner. You even taught him how to hit the open man. But how much time have you spent teaching him what not to hit?
Hey, Hard, what's this? That's my resignation letter. You're resigning? Why? Because you're constantly ignoring me. You're half as active as you used to be, and you read stuff like this. You've been putting me under a lot of pressure lately. That's why I'm ready to quit. I forgot. I'll do better. Please, don't quit on me. Okay. But remember, it's not what you say. It's what you do.
Listen to your heart. Don't let it quit on you.
Let's go for a walk.
Uncontrolled high blood pressure could lead to a stroke, heart attack, or death. Get yours to a healthy range before it's too late.
You make me wear my bike helmet. Taught me never to run with scissors. And to follow the swimming rules.
You tell me to stay away from drugs.
To always buckle my seatbelt.
So why do you keep a loaded gun in your drawer?
How safe is that?
You asked them to follow some safety rules. Now they're asking you. In fact, they're counting on you. Never let your gun get into the wrong hands. Remember, always lock it up. Visit ncpc.org.
my favorite thing about News 3 is you're constantly working with someone. If you're not going to work with someone, then your show's not going to go right. News 3 has really got me ready and prepared for the outside world. Traveling to do a tornado story, or if that even means traveling to Iowa to cover third graders, I get to work with some fantastic people. It wouldn't be the show that it was today without the production crew, without our anchors, without our talent. It's really a team effort, and I'm beyond blessed to be able to be here.
Welcome back to Live at 4. The Macomb High School football team endured another long road trip, this one 3.5 hours long, to face a strong Effingham program. The Hearts controlled the game throughout to complete a 40-0 shutout. It's the third time this season that MHS has been blanked. The Bombers hit the road again to Warsaw on Friday night for a 7 o'clock kickoff at West Hancock. Two undefeated teams meeting in Elmwood as the Trojans played host to the Bushnell West Prairie Sparklones on Friday night. Devin Yoakum, one of the standout players for BWP, trying to help his team move to 5-0. After taking an early 8-0 lead, the Trojan would go to special teams for their next score. Devin Yoakum punts it away to Sam Hedrick, who takes it 58 yards to the hizzy 14-0 Elmwood Brimfield with 5:46 left in the first quarter. But a charge out of Bushnell West Prairie early in the second quarter. Tyler Donaldson breaks it open around the left tackle and goes 55 yards for the score. The Sparklones trailed 16-6 with 8:56 left in the third quarter. Luke Wyatt adds another score for the Trojans, fighting his way in from 1 yard out, 22-6 EB of only 17 seconds left in the first half. And then Hedrick with 3 minutes left in the ball game on the plunge up the middle to seal the deal. 38-20 Elmwood Brimfield. That would be the final score, as Elmwood Brimfield, most likely the Trojans playoff bound with 5 wins. The Sparklones drop to 4-1 and face another undefeated 5-0 team, the Farmington Farmers, on homecoming Friday night at 7 o'clock in Bushnell. I feel like we're going to mention homecoming a lot today, like the homecoming game for Monmouth Roseville hosting Sherrard Wright off of the bat in the first. Titan running back Matthew Burris plunges in to put the Titans on the board first 7-0. To the second quarter we go. Jordan Cheek to Jamani Skinnard on the 12-yard touchdown pass as Monmouth Roseville set the tone. Still in the second quarter, watch out for Burris on the far side of your screen. He's loose, and on the outside he will cruise in for 6 more Titan points. Oh, by the way, congratulations, Matthew Burris. He's named Homecoming King at halftime with his team leading 28-7. Late in the ballgame, C.J. Daniel breaks Burris's school record for the longest touchdown run in school history. An amazing 95-yard run to the crib. After 2 close losses earlier in the season, the Titans pound the Tigers 53-13 for their second win of the season. Monmouth Roseville returns to Three Rivers Conference action versus Hall High School on Friday night. Here's their head coach.
It's a learning process. Whenever you're the team that hasn't been in the playoffs for a while, you're trying to get there. You got to go through some things to get there, and I think our guys have went through a lot this year, but tonight I thought we overcame more than we normally had, and we dug a little deeper, and it was good to see.
Switching gears to college football, Western Illinois aimed to win 3 straight road games to start the year for the first time since 1935. Standing in the way, Football Bowl subdivision foe, Coastal Carolina. Head coach Charlie Fisher and the Leathernecks looking for back-to-back FBS victories for the first time since the 2003 season. Zeke LaShore takes the ball on the reverse, throws it off of a Coastal defender into the arms of Sean McGuire, who uses his twinkle toes for the touchdown. 7-3 Western, 4:49 left in the first. But the Chanticleers answered with a 24-yard touchdown run by Alex James, and Coastal led 10-7 after the first quarter. Keep that score in mind. 7:37 left in the first half. Crossing pattern to Brandon Gaston. He muscles his way in for 6 to put WIU back in front 14-10, and the Leathernecks led 21-10 at half. Who invited the Power Rangers? Shouldn't they be busy? Turning point in the third quarter. Pass batted up in the air. Riggs Baxter snags it for the pick. Baxter, Johnny on the spot. He is pumped, and the Chanticleer crowd was taken out of the game. Very next play for the Leatherneck offense, McGuire finds tight end Adam Conrady in the corner, and Western officially blew the game open 35-10 at that point. The route continued from there. It was handshakes all around. The Leathernecks thumped Coastal Carolina 52-10, and they claimed the second largest margin of victory for an FCS team over an FBS opponent. All of that had Charlie Fisher pretty fired up as we take you into the WIU locker room following Western's 8th all-time FBS win.
Keep pushing each other to be the best. I can tell you, you can go as far as we want to go. Team trumps everything. If you're a team, you got everything in your pocket. I'm telling you, it's our offense. All right, what a great job, man.
Finally opened their home schedule and Missouri Valley Football Conference play against former WIU head coach Bob Nielsen and his number 16 South Dakota Coyotes on Saturday at 3 p.m. The Western Illinois women's soccer team found itself in a close competitive matchup on a beautiful Sunday afternoon against Drake. We take you to John McKenzie Alumni Field. Annie Schmitz of the Bulldogs would have an early opportunity as her cross that wound up being a shot almost finds the frame. And then for Drake, Rebecca Roberts goes the distance right over the top of Curie. The Leatherneck goalkeeper, Allie Smith, had the Drake assist. Western, though, would answer. Bianca Romay, there she goes. She will go in behind the back line. She chases a through ball from Madeline Edwards and knocks it into the back of the net, tying things up at 1 apiece. That would be the score when this contest would end up going into not just one overtime, we need a double overtime. Rebecca Roberts takes the long pass, breaks down the left side of the pitch. She goes flying down, finds the bottom corner. She will shoot it under the arm of Curie, who deflected it. That is the game-winning goal. Western falls 2-1 in double OT. They play next at Oral Roberts in Tulsa, Oklahoma on Friday night. Kick at 7. That was Rapid Fire Sports. Final word is next.
Hillary Dunn was convinced that Western Illinois University would invest in her.
My classes, friends, teachers, and activities have had a tremendous impact on my time here.
Hillary's passion for learning and helping others will lead her down a successful path.
Whether I choose graduate school or missionary work, I'll serve to the best of my ability because I am a success story. I am a Leatherneck.
Think purple, think success. Think Western Illinois University.
I want to eat apples and bananas. I need to eat apples and bananas. Why can't I eat?
1 in 5 children struggles with hunger in America. Support the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks to help provide meals to those in need. Join us at feedingamerica.org.
I'd have to say it's just the fact that you can get involved right away. You walk in the door and you can learn all the equipment. And I've been able to anchor, I've been able to be a DJ on our student-run radio station here. I've been able to work any of the camera equipment and the audio equipment. The fact that you can get involved right away. Everybody's really friendly. They welcome you right when you walk in the door. And you report the news, but you can also have fun stories and hard news stories and conflicting stories. But yet you just get such a real-life experience here at NEWS3.
Honest Abe has been on the move. Chicago's 31-foot-tall statue of Abraham Lincoln is now located in downtown Peoria.
The man seen next to Abe is known as the Common Man. He represents Lincoln's ability to talk and relate to the average person. So I guess I'm the expert here on Lincoln since I am from Springfield. I hope he somehow makes his way back down to the common people there in the Capitol. We'll see. He was in Chicago before.
Yeah, he was in Chicago, and I'm, from the south suburbs of Chicago, so I've seen it on my way going downtown. So it's a bummer that he's not going to be in Chicago. He's coming to you in Peoria. In Springfield.
Oh, no, it's Peoria.
Peoria,
we'll see. You know what? Honest Abe can do what he wants, that's for sure. And that is all for us today.
But we're online all the time. Stay up to date with us, news3wiu.com. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. Just search our handle, News3WIU. You can also search for us on YouTube and subscribe.
Thank you for joining us this evening.
And have a good night, Macomb.